We can retake it when we're done with the phone. And we're live, y'all. Hey!
I'm ready. I don't know what to say.
So what up, good people? We're gonna give this a shot once more to try to introduce everyone so that everybody knows who we are. And I guess we can go from oldest to youngest. And we'll start with Angel.
Before we get started, we want to thank y'all for tuning in for another episode of Twice the Advice as we introduce you guys to the Black Brady's. It's your boy,
AD.
And it's your girl, D. Gang. Y'all know what time it is. So now we'll go into it, introducing you guys, starting with the oldest. What's up?
Hi, my name is Angel. I am 17 years old. My parent, my parent is Mama D, like I call her. And a person we really don't want to introduce, but I'm gonna call him Mr. L.
All right. Okay.
You could have just said him, but hey, my name's CJ or Jet, whichever one you gonna call me. I'm known as a track star in the house. My mom is AD&D as well, as you may know.
And how old are you?
I'm 16. 16.
Had to think about that.
Tanari.
Hey, wait, you skipped order.
I'm on the age order, yeah.
Yeah. What's good, guys? AJ, I'm the junior. That's this man right here. This goofy right here. I'm 15 years old. His best parents in the world. Even though I get on their nerves from left to right, front and back.
Yeah, no.
Next.
Hello, Tanari. Sleepy. 14. Mama D over there. My mama in Florida. My father right here.
That's good, Nami. That's what I had to say. That's good, Nami.
Chicken.
Hello, my name is Aria. I'm 13 years old, and I love to hang out with my two parents, and I love to play outside and hang out with my friends, and I know my sister.
That's the best part about it.
At least you know.
Hi. Okay. Thank you. Hi. Hi. I'm KK, aka KK. I'm 11 years old, and this is my pops. I got relax. Jay, y'all interrupt my introducement.
Your introducement.
That's my introducement.
Your introduction.
Start over.
Okay.
All right.
Hi, I'm KK, aka KK, and I'm 11. And this is my pop, my twin. This is my mother, and then my other mother in Florida, and I'm KK. Yeah.
Your twin?
My twin.
Your twin.
My twin.
She claimed that for herself.
We are just taking the time to introduce everyone once again and basically kind of share with you guys how we do what it is that we do as a blended family. She has two girls and one boy, making her 3, and I have 2 boys and 1 girl, making my 3, and we are the Black Brady's. We have an open forum as far as how we communicate with our children. We allow them to correct us in private. We allow them to express themselves openly. I'm a little bit more lenient with that, more so than mom. But, contrary to anybody's beliefs, we both share the role in being the nurturers as well as disciplinarians. So what we usually do is we have an open forum and we allow everyone to come together. We all sit down and we kind of discuss different topics as far as the house. Anything that needs to be addressed, anyone feeling any certain way about a certain thing, maybe Pop said this or didn't do this or what have you. And, we apologize to our children because we feel that children deserve apologies too. This is our first time raising children. this is their first time being children. So we can make mistakes and we can oftentimes get things wrongly interpreted or communicated.
Yeah.
So
or in expression. And tonight, we kind of put together, or let me not say we, but we got a little bit of a late start for tonight because we had a little bit of a situation that happened that didn't necessarily start out involving all of us, but eventually it got all of us involved. And so I kind of wanted to come, on our platform and just kind of make mention of it because it's another night of shenanigans with the Black Brady's, y'all. We always got something going on.
no doubt.
But I really do want to go ahead and put it on the table and really kind of talk about it and really get the kids and their opinion and how they feel like it happened, how they feel like we're going to deal with it and move forward because it's important for them to be able to express themselves just as much as it is for us to be able to express ourselves. So tonight, or should I say this evening, because it wasn't even night when it initially happened, but we were all kind of kicking it outside, which is something that we usually do, especially on days when Pop's at home. We just kind of kick it outside. And I was outside. Angel, were you outside with me?
Yeah, I was.
Yes,
You
and
were out
I
there
just came over there with the scooter doing funny hops.
And you had just came outside?
Yes.
All right, so my girls were outside. The boys were in the house. I think they were all still sleeping.
I was going to be
Okay, you was one. All right. And so we had a little situation that happened, what was that, like 2 weeks ago? The 4th of July, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 4th of July.
July,
And my boys got into a little bit of a tussle. You know what I'm saying? They got into a fight with some kids that came through the neighborhood. It was what it was, and it is what it is. But something told me even then that they were going to come back.
I already knew.
And that's cool. That's cool. Something told me they were going to come back, and they did. You know, the kids came through this evening, and I didn't think nothing of it. You know, they're kids. It's no need for me to get involved in that. However, that little boy came through here, and I was going to let him go on about his business. I wasn't even going to say nothing, but he started singing. You know, he was starting to get a little too full of himself. You know, his head got a little full. He started singing and stuff. So before I could even catch myself, I told that little nigga, don't you come on, give me that shit. Oh, man. I think he thought that I was a child. Angel, what you think?
Yeah, probably. He probably thought you
Was you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the common misconception. Me and my daughter, we look a lot alike. She's actually a little bit bigger than I am. So from afar, you might think she's the parent and I'm the child. But he responded real disrespectfully. And it all happened so fast. It was 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 kids that came through here. And I was like, hold up.
It was like, no, it was actually 7 little boys and a little girl with them.
Yeah, I'm like, are y'all out here to fight somebody? You know, and it just escalated so quickly. And my husband overheard me, you know, talking to the little boy and man, it just escalated so quickly from then. Anybody else want to put in their input? Go ahead.
Oh, when he called you, he said, hold on, you said, don't tell me. I don't want to cuss him out. I'm going to get in trouble because I don't get
No, you wouldn't have got in trouble. They would have seen where you was coming from. You wouldn't have got in trouble because I was cussing them out the day before.
Yeah,
They
that's
don't
always
really say nothing.
All I know is
I just looked at the situation like this. I see my wife going back and forth with a little young boy. You know, for whatever reason. You know, I was down the street with my neighbor and I had my music playing. So my truck is pretty loud. And I thought I saw her and heard her talking in the direction of the 2 little boys that was walking ahead, and it was like 5 of them that was behind. So I said, you know what? Let me turn the music down. I turned the music down and I told my partner, I'm like, hold on, let me just make sure everything is straight. And so I heard them. So I asked, I said, what happened? She like, oh, he down there, he talking shit. He said whatever. And you know, she like he disrespectful as fuck. So I jumped in the truck and I backed all the way down the block. And I just asked, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, what's the problem? You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, if you got an issue with my son, keep it at that. You know what I mean? Stay in a child's place. If y'all got pressure, you feel like you want to fight. He want his one anyway. If y'all want to run it back, that ain't no problem with me. I let y'all fight the first time because unlike anything else, y'all didn't pull no knives, no guns got pulled. You know, y'all got y'all a little bit of pressure off. We got gloves. Y'all can put the gloves on. Y'all can knuckle up if that's what you want to do. but we're not gonna feel like it's okay for y'all to disrespect these young ladies. You're not gonna disrespect my wife. You're not gonna disrespect my daughters. None of them whatsoever. Period. We just not having that. And you know, he's like, oh well, you jump out the car, you running up on me like this, then I said, listen. I'm not running up on you. I'm talking to you like a young man. You understand what I'm saying? I'm a grown man. I don't know how many men you got in your life or whatever, but you know, you need to be able to understand why I'm saying and how I'm dealing with this, because you need to really keep this in your age group. You got a problem with my boy? Ain't no problem with that. You know what I'm saying? As long as ain't nobody getting harmed or whatever, you know, y'all can fight again. Y'all, you know, y'all get that off y'all chest, whatever. Maybe next week or whatever, that y'all cool. 2 months from now, whatever, y'all might be all right. But the disrespect and the talking crazy and all of that to these girls and my wife, you're not gonna do that. I'm not accepting that at all. I'm not having that. I don't care who you call, who you tell, how you feel. Plain and simple. So let's just make sure that we clear on that. We won't have no more problems. As far as me saying something to you, I won't say anything else to you as long as you don't give me a reason to. Oh, well, she said something to me first. I said, you're not talking about a 15-year-old girl. You're talking about a woman that's well into her 30s. You're not going to tell me she said something to you first, so you felt like you could say what you want to say back. That's unacceptable.
That's not how that works.
That's not how that works. And if that's how you feel like that's how that works, stay from over here.
Life.
You understand what I'm saying? Just stay from over here altogether. So his brother come up, oh, that's my brother. I don't care if that's your brother. I'm talking to him and I'm talking to you and the other five. As a matter of fact, all five of y'all come over here too. Let me make something very clear to every last one of y'all. I'm not tolerating no disrespect. When it come down to my wife and these girls, I don't feel like any of y'all should allow anybody to be disrespectful. Would you allow me to disrespect your wife? Would you allow me to disrespect your mother, your sister, your aunts, your cousins, any of them that's females? No, I wouldn't allow that. I wouldn't be having that. But she said something. I said, but nothing. I just need y'all to understand where I'm coming from. So that's why I'm intervening. And that's why I have something to say to y'all. Y'all go on about y'all way. I said, but no need to be disrespectful. Oh, fuck you, buddy. Get on down there and deal with your daughter and your wife. Okay, cool. I tell you what. You got a problem with my son, but don't bite off more than you can chew, young man. You understand what I'm saying? Because I don't give a fuck about you. I'm trying to save you from something. A life lesson is being taught right here. You have no reason to disrespect an adult. I don't give a damn how old they are. You don't have a reason to disrespect them. But she shouldn't have said nothing to me.
Unless, and I always tell this to anybody, adult and child alike, you have a right to disrespect an adult if an adult disrespects you to a certain degree. But like I said to each and every one of those children, and I will always say, I'm going to show you respect because I expect for you to show me respect. I was raised under the pretense that in order for you to get respect, you got to give respect.
Correct.
And you came over here disrespectfully to begin with.
But you're talking about a child who doesn't have a standard at home.
I understand that.
So even when it comes down to it, it's just like how we raise our children. For every action, there's a what?
Reaction.
So if there's a reaction for every action, then that lets you understand that you have to be accountable for your what?
Responsibility.
Your actions. So if as I said to you before, if you're outside and you conduct yourself in a certain fashion and you hear someone say something to you, they're saying something to you because you were heard saying something, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so you're accountable for your actions.
Yes.
And in which you need to correct or fix.
Correct. You want to try to be preventative. But in the event, which I know y'all young boys and young ladies, y'all say some things, little cussing go on when you out there with your friends. I do a little cussing when I'm with my friends. I did it when I was y'all age. But what's not appropriate is for you to be out there cussing like you ain't got no home training. Yes or no?
Yes.
What is not appropriate is for you to be out there displaying that you don't have anyone at home that teaches you core values.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not going to go out there in public and make me look like a fool, right or wrong.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's called integrity because you're doing what's right because it's what?
Right.
Okay.
Right thing to do.
All of these things are just values that we teach our children. So in interaction, and just like I said to my boys, you guys aren't street, but you have to migrate. You have to navigate through the streets. You're going to go to school. You're going to be outside. You're going to hang out. You're going to go to the park. You're going to go to the pool. Y'all going to get on y'all bikes. Y'all going to go ride your dirt bikes. You're going to know how to be cordial and passerby.
Mm-hmm.
That's just showing respect. The simple things. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't, and you run into someone that's like that, I call those crash dummies, Right or wrong?
Yes.
Right.
Because they looking for what?
A wall to run into.
They're looking for a wall to run into.
Heard.
So you came into a crash dummy, and I was there to try to intervene and try to diffuse.
That
I
situation.
tried to diffuse the situation, but then he got mouthy with me, and I wasn't going to go back and forth with him. I went to walk away. My wife came down, and he was like, "I slap your bitch,"
That was it right there.
and I'm like,
That was it
What?
right there. Coming out his mouth all crazy. And see, one of the things that I can value and appreciate, and this is something that I always bring to the forefront of my husband's mind every now and again when we get a little clouded because it's difficult raising this many children, is that we have people that complete strangers that will show up and say, that little girl, that young man, that young lady, they don't cause any problems. These are respectful children. These are mannerable children. I don't know what they're talking about. I don't know what they said, but those children, they didn't do
they
that.
didn't do that. They didn't cause no problems.
And I can value and appreciate that as a parent to say, okay, well, I feel like my kids wouldn't do that. But for someone who knows none the wiser, who is not in the house with them, who may not know me, who may not know my husband, but could still look at my children as they're outside and they're being children and can say, he didn't do that. She wouldn't do that. He didn't say that. She wouldn't say that.
Somebody-
No, we're not going to allow that.
Yeah, somebody taught y'all better than that. Somebody is taking their time raising you guys. We had a young, older young lady to come down, and she intervened, and she just kind of wanted me to calm down because, you know, he started talking about he was gonna slap my wife and run up on him and what he was gonna do, and I just was gonna walk up on him because I wanted to say hi. I wasn't gonna put my hands on him. You know, I really wanted to see. You know, a lot of dogs bark, but ain't none of them gonna bite.
I just wanted to know who
I just wanted to know one who was the bitch and who he was gonna put his hands on.
I just want to know who he was gonna put his hands on. That's all.
And I mean, he's a child, so I would have put him to sleep. I wouldn't have, you know what I'm saying, like tried to physically punch him or nothing like that.
Better than me.
But she, you know, she wanted to separate me from the situation, but she said, you all don't bother nobody. She said, we see all these children down here. She said, but I didn't know that all these children were yours. She said, but now I can see that they're all yours and they all are very mannerable and respectful children. So, my grandfather would tell me, shout out to Johnny James, because he would tell me, he would say, your name will carry you further than your feet will ever travel.
Sure enough.
And I'm grateful for the Yeoman's name, the Pearson name, the Gibson name, to travel the places that it goes and for it to come with such a good reprieve, for people to see that we're raising our children and taking the time to teach them how to be integral individuals, how to be disciplined, moral people, correct? And particularly these boys. Now, I'm not gonna get these girls the slide, because you got a lot of trots, hots, and thoughts that's being raised right now because parents stick their children in front of TV and YouTube and they get certain illustrations. But my boys, I challenge them all the time to be able to think. And if you're able to think outside of yourself, if you're able to assess situations, you'll get a better outcome. So the situation with the little boy, my son felt like he was disrespected. He said he wanted to fight. I told him that's between you guys. I didn't really even intervene. I let them do what they needed to do because I felt like it was in a controlled environment where they would be safe. Unfortunately, I raised them the way that I did, and I take responsibility for that because I teach them TLTA, which is what?
Touch one, touch
all.
all.
So when it's touch one, touch all, if one fight, they all fight. His brother jumped in. It was 5 of them out there. He went out there to address the one. Him and the one got it going. The other boy, got off a good little punch with my other son. My other son jumped in and got him off his brother. And, they came in. They wanted to jump in a little bit or whatever. I let them do a little tussling and whatnot, and I was able to get in there, me and another neighbor, and we separated. So I guess he didn't feel good enough about how that transpired.
He didn't feel as though he did enough.
No, it wasn't that. It has nothing to do with that. This young man felt like this is probably his first fight he's ever won in his life. And because of that, he a little puffed up right now. He feeling himself. But he knew if he came back through here again, He see that my son's not by himself. We got 3 sons.
It didn't matter because even with that, he went out there by himself against 5 of them.
Sure enough.
So, like I said to you, you either gonna lose some respect or
You
you're gonna
gonna
gain
gain
some.
some.
You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
And it's been 3 weeks, and he has yet to show his face. And the other 2 little boys that live in the neighborhood, they take the back block.
They don't even come through
You
here.
understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So I said to Nuvo, my partner, I said, Vo, I say that's how they come through here now because my son got into it with the biggest one. So he said, man, y'all gotta be careful. I said, we don't have to be careful. I said, because that lets me know that they know he's not a coward. So they need more of them to make sure that they can come through. I said, even if they want to jump them back, hey, if 4, 5 of them jump on my 3 boys, I'm gonna let them do what they got. They gotta go through that. You understand what I'm
There
saying?
ain't much you can do about it.
It ain't much
It
I
ain't
can
really
do about
much
it
you
because
can do about it.
I'm not finna go out there and start swinging on shorties. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try to separate it. One of y'all might get swung on. One of y'all might get hit by 2 or 3 people.
It
That's
happens.
gonna happen.
It happens. Just like,
You understand what I'm saying?
it
That's
happens.
that's the stuff that happens when you're a young boy. That's what happened with me when I was younger. And I don't expect y'all to be exempt from that.
Well, he's a dad, and that's how he feels. But if they had to jump back this here evening, I was gonna knock somebody's child clean off their feet. I'm just throwing it out there.
I'm not. All I'm
She's
saying
wrong.
is I'm not going back across them tracks. You understand what I'm saying? Jail is for suckers.
Sure enough.
Had he said something else disrespectful to my wife, I was gonna put him in the headlock and choke him to sleep. I was gonna put him in the sleeper hole. He was going to sleep. You understand what I'm saying? And I was just gonna make him an example. But the other 5 young
They
men,
were so humble.
they had nothing to say and they understood because I was coming from a genuine place. I whatever language he chose to use, that's not my place to tell him whatever. I wouldn't, my thing was you talking about what you gonna do to these girls. You a bitch for first even going at it in that fashion because you out here talking to these girls that way. And then my wife is one of those women who, one, doesn't illustrate disrespect, so she's not gonna tolerate it. She don't get it at home. You understand what I'm saying? She don't get it from me and none of these children and nobody else in this neighborhood. Most people tread very lightly when it comes to my wife, and if you don't, you will once you meet me, because I don't play by my wife. So it really just kind of took me aback, and I got a little flustered. You know what I'm saying? I told him, and then he like, "Oh, I do such." I'm like, "Boy, there's a patch with your name on it. We ain't even gonna really go back and forth." And they said they got their little gang or whatever. We ain't worried about none of that. We ain't concerned about any of that. The moral of everything that we're really taking you guys through in this story is that know who you're dealing with so you know how to deal with them.
And it's even more important as parents that we teach our kids to recognize not the people, but the type of a person that you're interacting with. It's important for them to know that you're dealing with someone who's a crash test dummy. It's important for them to know that you're dealing with somebody who's a battery pack. It's important for you to know that you're dealing with somebody who has, slut-like or hoe-like tendencies. It's important for them to know that you're dealing with people who are manipulative. It's important for them to know the type of person that they're dealing with. Because so many of us, as we were coming up, we didn't know, we didn't learn, we were not taught to recognize the type of person.
That's right.
We just found our way through, and it was situation after situation where we were in these circumstances that were not necessarily of our own, but we fell victim to because we weren't taught to recognize the type of person that we were dealing with. Right. And so because of that, we try to go above and beyond and out of our way to make sure that our children understand that's a manipulative character that you're dealing with.
Right. 1 + 1 = 2, and the fuck nigga gonna do what the fuck nigga gonna do.
And I need them to know that from now, because that way I don't have to worry about my sons being associated with disrespectful young men like that. Right. Because my sons will check somebody else's son about being disrespectful.
Absolutely. We've had situations like that. Even as far as going back and forth with the neighbor. I may go back and forth with the neighbor, but one of my children is not going to go back and forth with the neighbor. They'll say, "Oh, okay, let me go get my mama, let me go get my dad."
They ain't came and got me yet, though. I'm waiting to get her, yo.
Keep that same energy. I'll be right back with an adult.
I'm just
and it's
waiting
no problem. And it's no problem because, you gotta stop. I'm not going to tell my children to not disrespect an adult. they know not to disrespect an adult. That's something that's been instilled in them.
That's the standard.
But correct, that's the standard. But there have been times where adults have been downright disrespectful to my children, and they were very reluctant to even say anything because they didn't want it to be considered disrespect. But when they get us involved,
They already know.
Well, it's not that we didn't want you to know that we were being
It's just not.
we were
it's
getting
just not right.
disrespectful with another person. It's just that
Don't
it
sit right.
felt off.
It don't sit right.
It don't feel right.
It don't sit
It
right.
didn't feel right.
Because you've been taught you've been taught to respect.
So you remember when
the crazy
the
lady
lady
next door?
no the lady came on the bus and called me and Chris out.
Oh
Factual.
yeah.
When that happened, me and Chris got
I
really
ain't gonna hold you. I stood up and I was getting ready to say something. I was like, let me sit right now.
we got really angry.
I stood up and I looked at it and I was like,
we didn't feel as though that we needed to say something to her.
Good.
But
Who did you say something to?
oh God, we came home and said something.
well, I ain't even come home. I called y'all when I was on the bus.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I ain't even come home. I called one of y'all when I was on the bus. I don't know who it was. I was like, this lady just came on the bus calling
think
us.
you-
I almost said something.
I
I was
think
like,
you called me.
I was like,
I think you
I
called me.
didn't,
Yeah.
So
And my immediate response is what it would normally be.
yeah.
Who said what? Wait, what?
You went to
Yeah,
the bus.
you
stop.
can't even- you
No, I didn't go to the bus stop. I
because
picked up the
parents
phone.
can't even get on the bus.
I hung up the phone with you,
And got and went
And
to
I
school.
was-
school.
and I called the school.
Yeah.
And I said, I need you to do two things for me, okay, sir? This is the AP. I need you to get the parent of this child to the school today. And I need you to contact the bus company and whoever the driver was. I need to have a conversation with them today. That's what I need from you today. Oh no, Miss Jones, I need you to no. I didn't ask you for nothing.
Yeah.
But what I asked you to
I need
do,
you to put this in order.
and that's it.
That's it.
In the discussion. Go ahead, Lady Bug.
It was kind of like the time when you came to the school complaining about this kid messed up with me.
Oh,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
We were really upset about that. But
I
there
don't really like to mess with nobody.
Show love.
there were some teachers that kind of pushed it along. They were like ignoring it on purpose.
Yes.
I saw that.
I ain't with all of that. But
That's
see,
like
this is the importance or should I say the whole moral of this particular story is the importance of y'all maintaining that respect.
Right.
Because tonight there were 4 different adults, not including either one of your parents, that said them kids ain't no problem. 4 different adults. They ain't from the same household. 1 or 2 of them down the road might have been, but all of them said them kids ain't no problem.
Yeah. Even the guy that came down there and said to me, he like, man, I don't know what's going on. He like, man, but I know you. He like, you don't bother nobody. So you being out here ready to cut a fool. He like, what happened? I just want to know what happened. You know what I mean? And I'm saying to you guys, we appreciate and value you guys keeping a standard for yourselves and collectively being respectful individuals. We appreciate you guys not having, situations where you get mouthy or people look at you differently, and that you show them that you have home training.
Or
Yes,
more
ma'am.
or more importantly, that you show them you have self-control. Go ahead.
And what we were just talking about, like that one time when you told us that we can ride the bikes and stuff, make sure we pull through the yard. I was going through there, and I told Asia to hold on. I got to go back through to go get some more than I had to use the restroom. And the lady came out the door and told me stop riding through her yard. I said yes, ma'am. And then her daughter just came out the door and started snapping on me, and I just rolled through and I left. Because I didn't want to say nothing, because I knew if I said something, I'd have got myself in trouble.
I just need y'all to come get me.
Right.
Mhm.
But see, this is what you gotta understand. So
Come get me.
you gotta understand. But see, that's when as long as you let me, I'll deal with it. I'll address it. You understand what I'm
Come
saying?
get me.
Regardless of such. Because adults deal with adults and children deal with children.
And that's
And
it.
that was the whole situation, how I let y'all get y'all esteem off and y'all do what y'all need to do when it came down to these little boys.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to be able to save you guys from situations that you're going to face with little boys. But if I prepare you for how to deal with them, teach you how to address them, then you have a better opportunity of coming out of that situation a victor and learning from that situation more so than being victimized because of it. You understand what I'm saying? There was situations when I was young, I had to learn how to fight. I had to get in the middle. I had
Same
to get
with me.
beat up. I had to get beat down. I had to get drugged. I had to get jumped. You understand what I'm saying? In order to learn how to fight. So it's not gonna be no different for y'all. I could put you in kickboxing. I can go and get a punching bag. We can go through 4, 5, 6, 7 more sets of gloves. But until you really get out there and you really get hit,
Yeah, you gotta.
until you get out there and you really get hit,
It ain't
you
gonna-
don't know what you can do. Right or wrong.
right.
Right.
You know? So the one of the valuable things that I want you guys to understand and see about this situation is you know how you carry yourself. You can avoid so many different things by being a respectable person, by having people to look at you and say, hey, you know what? You all right with me. You cool with me. I've never seen you, but when I don't know you personally, rather, but when I have seen you, you always seem to be doing your own thing, minding your own business. That looks like a good thing to me.
And you carry yourself.
You carry yourself in a certain way.
Correct.
And when you have people that can say that about you, then you have
Right.
people that'll go to bat for you. You have people that'll respect you. You guys have had situations where teachers have done nonsense. And another teacher will turn around and then say, hey, not that one. No. You got them mixed up with somebody. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
You
so,
must not know their parents.
So it's even one of the things that I've dealt with when it comes down to my locks. I've had police officers that run into me and they're like, hey, calm down, relax. I'm not that guy. You know?
You're not that guy.
I'm not that guy. We're not even gonna go at it in that fashion. And then it may be another officer or it may be another person that may come and say, hey man, such, oh, that's my buddy, man, such, and then they're like, wait, because respect by association is a real thing.
It goes a long way.
Absolutely.
Respect by association is a real thing, but you'd rather be respected and valued from a person of integrity than a person who you look to or someone else that's perceived to be whatever. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So you'll always get more with sugar than you will shit. You understand what I'm saying? You'll always get more than you will with sugar than with shit. And tonight was definitely an illustration of how shitty people do shitty things and they expect other people to back them up. But the things that you guys have done that are of value, they carried a long way. That lady made sure that everything was well.
I just thought that I would make sure that I took the time out to acknowledge each and every one of you guys for showing self-control.
Oh yeah, because everybody was outside.
Because
Everybody had on
I ain't gonna hold you.
shoes.
When I came down there, I was finna start going off.
right.
But I was like, hold on. Wait a
Let
second.
me read what's happening.
Let me
I had to read the
But this is
situation.
what I need y'all to
I had to
understand.
read the situation.
Don't bypass this, right? I want y'all to catch this. There are people 3 times y'all age that does not have the self-control that y'all showed today.
That's right.
So I want to acknowledge the fact that it's not just a matter of being able to maintain yourself and show respect for yourself and for others. The fact that you were able to exude the amount of self-respect and not lose
Sometimes your strongest abilities will come when you feel at your weakest point. When y'all got to sit down and take a tongue lashing from me, a lot of times y'all hate that. Don't want to hear that shit, can't stand it. But in the same sense, you able to learn something from it. It come back and it play back and you like, damn.
That's what he did.
Pops was trying to tell me. He showed me. He told me that. My old boy told me about people like you. You understand what I'm saying? Not but when it comes down to certain things, we need you guys to understand and not only just understand it, but see the value in it. So we want to congratulate and applaud everyone.
every single one of you guys.
For you guys holding it down, POP holding it down, and doing what it is that we're doing. You know, achieving great things in a great way.
I wanted
that
to
type
say
of
something about
situation, you learn from it.
I wanted to say something about the mother. He was like, he took off his shirt and was puffing up at Papa. Like, Papa wanted to smack him down the ground and have him sleeping. Oh, well, beat you up. All right, he's swinging. He's so mad. He's like, what are you doing? Until he really fights you, be like, oh man, I don't want to mess with him no more. Let me leave him alone.
But I mean,
That's not the point, though.
You
That's
know
not
what I'm saying?
the point. You shouldn't have to
I
go
wasn't
that
finna
far as an
really-
adult.
I wasn't finna try to fight him. You understand what I'm saying?
want to see
I would have
it.
grabbed
I wanna
the
see
little nigga and gave him a hug. You understand what I'm saying? Before I actually and truly, you know what I'm saying, tried to physically fight it. Because I don't know where that anger comes from, but it's triggered by something. You understand what I'm
When
saying?
you said something about the man and his family here,
Oh my goodness.
Now,
he got really upset.
you gotta understand, a lot of these little boys
Don't
have mothers, aunties, grandmas, and
child.
sisters. There's no brother. There's no daddy.
It's
There's
just
no
them.
uncle. You understand what I'm saying?
And unfortunately,
He may
that's
be
what
the
I'm
only
saying.
man in his situation. He could have 6 sisters and a mama. He might have a grandma, no mama, and 3 sisters.
He might got the short end of the stick.
It might just be him and his grandmama. Mama could be strung out. Daddy could be in prison. Brother could be dead. You don't know. You understand what I'm saying? But these are the perilous times that we live in. So rather than look at the situation and assess it to turn around and then say, little boy, I fuck you up, which I know I fuck him up.
That's
I'm telling him, I'm saying, listen,
just
young
a
man,
moral.
I'm trying to talk to you as a man.
I'm trying to talk to
And
you
give
as
you
a
an
person.
understanding and give you an understanding that you'll need. This is a life lesson.
Listen, that little boy
Not
told
like
me.
as
That little boy told me he gonna slap me.
I want to see him do because
No.
I couldn't
Look what I told him.
wait for you to run this little world.
No, look what I told him. You go ahead on and slap me and let me show you what a child you are.
Exactly.
Cause I'm gonna put you right back in the place where you belong.
But he ain't never been put in this place in that
Oh,
fashion.
baby, try it.
See, some of you, we have a communication gap. You understand what I'm saying? The late 80s had something to do with a crack phase. You got HIV/AIDS, crack cocaine hit. That was a real epidemic. You understand what I'm saying? And a lot of our parents fell victim to it. You understand what I'm saying? My father was a hustler. He went from a hustler to being a junkie because he started using. He experimented with drugs. Gratefully, my mother didn't experiment with drugs, but I still was raised by my grandmother. So that left me with neither parent. I had a father who went from hustling to smoking, ended up in prison. A mother who became a mother far too young, neglected herself, and turned around and been a mother ever since. And she was still trying to learn how to be a person
for herself.
Left me with my grandmother. So I was raised by my grandmother, who didn't give me an understanding of the values of work, even though I saw her work ethic. She didn't communicate the things that were essential to me to where I needed them to be able to get along in life, to learn how to defend myself, to protect myself, to stand up for myself, to speak up for myself. Most cases when
Appropriately.
appropriately. But in most cases, even when I did speak up, it was disregarded. Not to say that I wasn't raised in a good household, but to say that a lot of mistakes that were made through my childhood, I made a decision that I wouldn't make those same mistakes when it came to my children. So that's why me and you had a conversation yesterday. A little uncomfortable, but at the same time valuable. Because there's nothing that should come in between you and I. Not my emotions, not your emotions, not your mother, not my mother, not any of that. If I can't communicate with you, then I'll take a walk. And when I come back, even if I don't like what you say, I'm going to hear you out. Because it's important for me to hear you if I give a damn. Right or wrong?
Right?
And the plus side to having mom and dad in the home, I've learned is that we bridge the gap for each other. So there's times where the girls be wanting to talk, right? But they feel like they might not be able to get their point across to me, and they'll go to daddy. And there's times where the boys be wanting to talk, right? And they feel like they can't get their point across to their daddy, so they come to their mama, you know. And so together we make that work, and it's an amazing thing to see. You know, I did get a chance coming up to see my mom and my dad in the same household, but it was weird when they were together because for me it was never like it was always like
It was always distant.
it was always for such a short period of time.
I saw my mom and my dad on so many different occasions, and the most times it had me, you know, as kind of like the common factor.
Which is
This year,
One right
and
here.
I was nowhere around. Is the first year that my mother and my father were together on their own. I had nothing to do with it. My mother and my father spent Father's Day together.
Right.
And I felt like that was awesome for the two of them, because as individuals, that shows how much that they've grown. It's taken 30 plus years.
That's all right. They got them.
But they got
That's
exactly.
my mom.
So you understand what I'm saying? But what we want to do, and that's why we kind of raise you guys the way that we do when we speak with you guys so openly, is because we don't want it to take 30 years for you guys to finally get the light bulb to come on.
Sure enough.
You understand what I'm saying?
What's up, Lady Bull? You wanted to say something?
Yeah. So like when they were coming past, I was like, Ma, you don't see them.
He really, when I see him, I'm gonna say something to him. I'm gonna tell him thank you, because he came up and he said, "Hold up, so what happened? Like how we get
Here.
right here?"
Yeah.
That's exactly. He was like, "What happened?"
Because he didn't know what was
Yeah,
going
There
on.
and
was
he
a tall
literally just
little-
said the tall one with
the
his shirt off.
So tall.
And he just came out. He was like, "What happened?" He like, "I don't understand.
He like, I just was walking.
I just was walking this way
This my
because
people.
yeah."
Like, I just
But
was walking with
he
him.
had no
but
idea
what happened.
what was
What
transpiring
sparked
and
the
how
light?
the other young man initiated that. But he was looking to get a reaction to turn around and then try to make it a whole other chaos.
Yeah, but once-
Yeah,
Once
because he was
everybody,
screaming
like-
like scared to come outside, scared to come
Cause
outside.
he a bitch.
Oh, I
But
was
it's
finna.
okay.
Oh, I had to
But
remember
when we
you
were
somebody
down there, right, and there was a couple of times where the young man was literally right here.
He
I
wanted-
mean, he was
He
right.
wanted
I swear to God,
somebody.
I
Angel
wanted
was
to
like,
fuck
come
him.
back.
And I was going to. I really was, but she pulled my
Listen.
arm back, and I was just like,
Because
No.
first of all, because the disrespect that he initiated started with me. So if he felt like he was gonna do something, he was gonna get that started with me. This is what I'm trying to get you to understand. He wanted someone to put their hands on him. What he really wanted was to incite a riot.
Yeah.
that was okay.
He
I was
brought
okay.
enough people to turn around and then say, "Oh, when I get some shit going, everybody just gonna follow my lead."
Yeah, it was
You
people
understand what I'm
looking out
saying?
the
No.
window.
That's where you got.
That's like what happened when we was in Griffin.
It's push buttons. But
Yeah.
just like I
Oh.
said to you,
Which got
regardless of the situation, you got people that put battery packs in people's backs.
That's what he tried.
You understand what I'm saying? When you are an initiator, that's why I say oftentimes when you know what it is that you're doing or you know what it is that you're getting yourself into, know that for what you sow, you gonna get. You gonna reap that. You understand?
Yes.
So when you say things with certain intentions,
You need to be mindful of that.
be mindful. When you do things with certain intentions, be mindful. Because see now what he just showed to every last one of them, what he don't even realize is he gonna have to find somewhere to be.
Somewhere new to be.
Because that caused so many issues on so many.
Uncle and that,
And now they saying, man, look, what's get from around here? Don't even hey look, don't even go over there with him.
Listen, the grandma she said, baby, I understand what you're talking about with the disrespect. He the problem. Well, he got to go.
Plain and simple.
She said that multiple.
So now you got 3 out of 5 that had sense
Enough to separate themselves
to
from that.
separate themselves from that. That's not gonna hang with the other 2 that initiated bringing 7, 8 more people over here.
For some shenanigans.
So now, and even the brother, because just like I said to you, 1 + 1 = 2. And a fuck nigga gonna do what a fuck nigga gonna do. That fuck nigga can be your brother, your mother, your father, your auntie, your cousin, your sister. It don't matter. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, it could be all of them. Man.
It could be all of them in one.
But what you gotta
What you
learn
gotta
to
know
do,
how to do is identify it.
Come on now, you got to see that.
Once you know how to see people's character traits, because they practice their flaws until they become character traits. And when you're able to identify them, then you can say, oh, you know what? Yeah, I don't need to be like you because you're not like-minded. We ain't even cut from the same cloth, which is okay. But when a person is an initiator or an instigator, you have to use that for a positive benefit to be an influencer. If not, then you turn around and you become troublesome. And you get a name behind that. You get a reputation that follows that. And trust and believe me, I know all about it. So that's why y'all boys, I'm always hard on y'all, because shit is shit.
No matter what you get.
You understand what I'm saying? You either stay in it or stay out of it.
That's it.
That's all the way that goes. We thank you guys for joining us. It's a great opportunity for us to just kind of have an open discussion in front of you guys and share with you some of our children's point of views. And this is the way that we kind of like do our thing as parents. If you have any input, any comments, please share with us.
Drop it in that comment
Drop
section,
it in the
y'all.
comment section.
For those of you that are already subscribed to the channel, thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight. For any newcomers, if you have not yet subscribed, please do go ahead, hit
Thank
that
you.
subscribe
Make
button.
sure you hit the bell also.
That's right.
That's
Be
right.
notified
Yeah.
of all of the updates because we've got a ton of them coming your way. We really want to thank you guys for spending this time with us tonight. We do look forward to seeing you guys again. Hopefully next time there'll be no shenanigans. So listen, what you say?
Next time there will be no shenanigans. And until next time, same place, twice the advice, Black Brady's. We want to thank you guys, and we're going to say it all together.
Peace.
I like that piece.
KK, why are you?
Oh, boy.
Wait.
Okay.
All right.
What we doing?